Hi, everybody, and welcome to our council meeting for August 27th here in the city of Mount Pearl. Deputy Mayor Kiley joining us virtually. And council, you see before you, you see a agenda, nothing outside the kit, I notice. Welcome to our August 27th here in the city of Mount Pearl. Deputy Mayor Kiley joining us virtually. And council, you see before you, you see a agenda, nothing outside the kit, I notice. So it's technical, it's the YouTube delay, I think. Your Deputy Mayor should be muted. And Anne, can you shut off that microphone? So it's technical, it's the YouTube delay. Can we start over again? The Deputy Mayor should be muted. And Anne, can you shut off that microphone? Start over again. That's 3 times. That before. Start over again. Hi, everybody, and welcome again to our August 27th meeting here in the city of Mount Pearl. So, council, before you, we have the agenda, nothing outside the kit, and I'll call for a motion. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. She's moved it. Councillor Rice has seconded. All in favor? Those opposed? And that's carried. Thank you much. I'll read the land's acknowledgement. And we begin today's public council meeting by respectfully acknowledging the province of Newfoundland and Labrador as the ancestral homelands of many diverse populations of Indigenous peoples, including the Biotech, who have contributed to 9,000 years of history on the island of Newfoundland. Today, this province is home to diverse populations of Indigenous and other people. We acknowledge with respect the diverse histories and cultures of the Mi'kmaq, Innu, and Inuit. We honor our beautiful land together as we strive for collective healing and true reconciliation. Council, the meeting notes for minutes, I should say, for August 13th are in front of you. Any errors or omissions before adoption? Hearing none, I'm looking for a motion to accept it. Moved by Councillor Lane, seconded by Councillor Fry. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Business arising, folks. Just name the number in the action report or the minutes, please. Okay, thank you. Moving to the Corporate Services and Public Works Committee. I believe Councillor Rice, you're taking the lead.
Thank you, Your Worship. First on our agenda tonight, we have our invoices for approval. You can see them there in your kit. So the committee recommends that the following invoices totaling just taking that now. Back to the agenda. So for Information Council, the following, back again, wrong side. Bear with me. There we go. So the committee recommends that the following invoices totaling $243,548.54 be approved for payment. You can see them there in your kit, and I so move.
It is moved by Councillor Rice, seconded by Councillor Lane. Thank you. Any questions, council? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor and contraminded? Carried. Back to you.
Thank you. And our second one is our payment register for purchase card report. This one is for the information of council, the following payment register for August the 9th until August the 21st, 2024, totaling $1,249,697.99. And the purchase card report for June the 26th to July the 25th, 2024, totaling $336,664.83. You can see them there in your kit. All good, yeah. And so number 3 is a building and occupancy permit listing for July the 29th to August the 9th, 2024. So the Planning Engineering Development Committee recommends that the residential and commercial building permits issued for this period showing a total construction value of $594,100 be approved, and further that the occupancy permit list be accepted as presented. You can see them in your kit there, and I so move.
Thank you. Moved by Councillor Rice and seconded by Councillor Lane. Any questions? All in favor? Motion carried.
Thank you, Worship, and I'll just pass it over to my colleague, Councillor Lane.
Thank you very much. The 5th item on our agenda is the Department of Justice Rural Newfoundland Constabulary lease portion of the city-owned building at 59 Clyde Avenue. In 2006, the Department of Justice Rural Newfoundland Constabulary entered into a lease agreement with the City of Mount Pearl for 6,748 square feet of space at 59 Clyde Avenue, the H. Neil Windsor Building Depot. The term of lease agreement was 10 years with the option of exercise a 5-year extension. The extension was exercised and the space is now in a month-to-month lease. The city has been working with the Department of Transportation and Infrastructure on a new 10-year lease agreement and has carried out the upgrades to the building. A proposed new lease agreement was discussed by the Corporate Services and Public Works Committee, and approval of the agreement was supported by the Committee of the Whole at their meeting on April 9th, 2024. The signed and executed lease agreement has been received by the city from the province, and the matter is now brought forward for formal approval. The Corporate Services and Public Works Committee has reviewed and recommends approval of the proposed lease agreement between the City of Mount Pearl and the Provincial Government Department of Justice, Rural Newfoundland Constabulary for the portion of the city-owned building at 59 Clyde Avenue for the term of 10 years, February 29th, 2024 through February 28th, 2034, at a rate of $26 per square foot, with options for 2 5-year extensions through to February 28th, 2039, at a rate of $30 per square foot, and 2044 at a rate of $34 per square foot, respectively, and with provision of the off-street parking for 24 vehicles, snow removal, and janitorial services. And I so move.
Moved by Councillor Lane, seconded by Councillor Rice. Any questions? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor? Contrary-minded? Carried. Let's go to the bottom and then come back, if that works.
Yep.
Yeah,
yep.
I know where you're going there.
Okay, the 6th item on our agenda is National Day for Truth and Reconciliation office closures. In June 2021, the House of Commons unanimously supported legislation giving the September 30th statutory holiday to all federal employees and workers in federally regulated workplaces. It is meant to serve as a day of reflection so that people can recognize the harmful legacy of residential school systems in Canada. The City of Mount Pearl has observed the National Day of Truth and Reconciliation since 2021. It is recommended that the City of Mount Pearl observe the September 30th holiday for the calendar year 2024 on Monday, September 30th as the National Day of Truth and Reconciliation, and I so move.
Moved by Councillor Lane, thank you. Second by Councillor Rice, thank you. All in, any questions or any comments? It's kind of, I think this is the 3rd year in a row we've done this in keeping with the sentiments, national sentiments that Councillor Lane talked about. Any comments? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor? Those opposed? That's carried.
Okay, the 7th item on our agenda is the Housing Accelerator Fund application recommendations. The Housing Accelerator Fund program is a partnership with the federal government to help address the housing crisis throughout the country. The program is aimed at building homes quickly with a focus on high-density housing. As part of the Housing Accelerator Fund program, the City of Mount Pearl has recently announced its offerings to prospective developers and not-for-profit entities. The city has reviewed 2 eligible applications for the interested parties to participate in the Housing Accelerator Fund program. Applicants who meet the eligibility requirements and criteria can receive up to a maximum of $100,000 of total project costs dispersed upon receiving their occupancy permit. As per the HAF terms and conditions, which are attached, only applicants who have received a development permit will be considered for the funding program. The following applications meet those requirements and consist of the following proposed projects. Donovan's Homes, 50 to 56 Dunrobin Street, has a 98,000 HAF eligibility and expected time frame for completion of 18 to 24 months for 24 units. And Carwood Contracting Limited at 166 Park Avenue has a HAF eligibility of $100,000 and expected time frame of 18 to 24 months and 33 units. The city's HAF steering committee has reviewed the application and confirms the following. Donovan Homes are constructing 2 3-story, 12-unit apartment buildings representing 24 housing units. They are applying for the HAF funding under both the multi-unit build grant program and the waiver of developmental fees. The application meets all criteria and is eligible for $98,000. Carwood Contracting Limited are constructing 3 apartment buildings consisting of 33 housing units. They are applying for HAF funding under the following programs: multi-unit build grant program, waiver of development fees, as well as affordable housing pre-construction soft cost grant. The application meets all criteria and is eligible for $100,000. The department recommends approval of the above noted applications, and the department's recommendations were supported by the committee at their meeting on July 29th, 2024, and by the committee of the whole at their meeting on August 12th, 2024. The Corporate Services and Public Works Committee recommends approval of the applications for funding under the Housing Accelerator Fund program as follows. Donovan Homes for their 2 3-story, 12-unit apartment buildings for a total of 24 housing units with a multi-unit building grant and waiver of developmental fees total of $98,000. And Carwood Contracting Limited, 3 apartment buildings for a total of 33 housing units, multi-unit building grant, waiver of development fees, and affordable housing pre-construction soft cost grant for a total of $100,000. And I so move.
Moved by Counselor Lane and second by Counselor Rice. Thank you both. Any questions or comments? Counselor Locke, please.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm in full support of this. It's exciting news. As we all know around this council table, it's in line with our strategic plan that council adopted to intensify, bring more housing, more residents to the city of Mount Pearl, for a number of reasons. Our population over the last number of census has indicated a decline here in the city. And we know that we need more housing, more residents, more housing for the residents we're hoping to attract. And of course, this will increase our tax base. So it's an example, again, it's in line with our strategic plan. I think Councillor Rice used the term several times, gentle intensification and attracting more houses. The Accelerator Fund supplemented and complemented what we already had in our plan. So this is great use of our money and it's working. I mean, we're online to get a couple of hundred houses over the next 2 to 3 years, which is great news. It's great news for building our community, but it's certainly great news for our revenue to help pay for the high quality services that we have in our city. So I'm in full support of this. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Counselor Fry?
Yes, I just wanted to comment as well, because I too am in support of this. I mean, this is 57 additional units here in the city. And this is so well needed because, I mean, we are in a housing crisis currently. I recently attended a seminar and the focus was on housing. And you think of homelessness, and there's a stereotype with the homelessness. But what it's evolved to now with the high rental prices and the low availability of units, it's not just the stereotype that once was. Now it's seniors on a fixed income or working minimum wage parents of a small family can't afford the rents, so there is a lot more to homelessness than the stereotype that once existed. And we need to do something about this, and we are doing something about this. And I fully support this additional 57 units so far. Thank you.
Councillor Randall.
Your worship, thank you very much. Yes, I certainly do appreciate or do support these two housing units. Donovan's Homes, I mean, it's a fabulous area. There's going to be a beautiful building. I think the people up there, the residents are going to love this. Carwood down on Park Avenue, it's a young neighborhood. I mean, it's great to see this. Right, we fully support these areas, and it's great to see that we're doing this. To have funding is certainly delivering what we needed, and I'm in full support. Thank you very much, Your worship.
All right, so Councillor Rice. Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Your worship. I just wanted to expand and fully support what my colleagues have already said around this these initiatives and development that we're going to see to the benefit of our city over the next couple of years. I think Councillor Locke did an incredible job of kind of looking at the larger picture, the strategic picture of smart planning. There's something to be said about the way we're doing this, that it is aligned with the larger issues that we are seeing throughout our entire country, which is a housing crisis. I also wanted to second exactly what Councillor Fry had said around, let's look at the face of this. Homelessness and housing looks different, that many people right now are just on that poverty line. We look at the working poor, we look at seniors that are on fixed incomes, we look at individuals that no longer can work from a different populations, whether it's a person living with a disability or new Canadians, just coming into the province. All of these things are important, and to Councillor Antl's perspective, these are good companies, these are good, this is going to be good business, good development for our city, and I think we're doing this in a way that is smart and is gentle and aligned with what we foresee, which is wanting people in Mount Pearl who've lived Mount Pearl to stay here, whether it is through downsizing and for new populations of individuals to come into what looks at as different housing structures that we grew up with, which is, smaller developments, smaller pieces of land, and using what we have. And I think specifically when we look at Park Avenue, that's an excellent example of us not just looking at new land, but redeveloping what we have in a smart way and finding places that already have a really great population of people, great neighborhoods, and looking to enhance that there. So I'm in fully support of this as well. And I think this is a great initiative that we're voting on today. So thank you, Your worship, for that.
Well, thank you. And to close, before handing it back to Councillor Lane, if necessary, Councillor Rice.
Thank you, worship. No, I just want to comment there. I visited this site from the time they cleared the land until there. I was up there actually a couple, last Wednesday or Thursday, and it's good to see. I think it's a fantastic location, right on the main road coming out of Mount Carson. And what they're doing up there is they're really putting a really good location for the buildings, so they're accessible getting in there. And I noticed they're using they're moving forward too, and they're doing the center of the buildings with the ICF's concrete block ICF forms. So it was nice to see them doing the energy efficiency part with the buildings as well. So I fully support this as well, and it's great to see this kind of project taking place. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. I think we're about to wrap up. I think everybody's spoken. But back to you, Councillor Lane. This is part of our strategic plan and very much in keeping. Long before the Housing Accelerator Fund came along, we developed a plan which was really in line with this. So if you'd like to close debate, then I'll call the question, please.
Yeah, I'm sure this will be the first of many times that we see an item like this here at the council table. And it's certainly heading in a great direction in terms of intensification. And I so move for this item.
Thank you very much. I'll call the question. All in favor? Contraminded? Thank you. Carried.
Okay, I'm going to do the Public Works status report, and then I'm going to hand it back over to my colleague, Councillor Rice, for items 3 and 4. So under Roads Division, work continues on asphalt services, street sweeping, and maintenance holes and catch basin repairs. For Parks Division, work continues on landscapes bed maintenance, flower planters and hanging basket maintenance, maintenance of sports fields, parks and open space mowing. Powers Pond Trail upgrades continue. Playground on Stonegate Crescent is nearing completion, and the commemorative bench and tree program installations are underway. For Fleet Division, service and maintenance continues. Winter equipment maintenance is ongoing. UTM Division, general calls for plugged sewers, service locates, new water and sewer service inspections, camera inspections, troubleshooting, water and sewer repairs, hydrant flushing is ongoing. Leak detection, catch basin cleaning is ongoing. Lift station and inspections and maintenance, working in conjunction with the PED on capital works projects. And the water levels at Bay Bowls Big Pond as of August 19th, 2024 are attached. And as you can see, the levels are still quite high and things are going very well in that regard as well. I'm going to hand it back over to my colleague, Councillor Rice.
Thank you, Councillor Lane. So number 3 on our Corporate Services and Public Works is a request for professional development for travel for Councillor Isabel Fry to attend the Athletic Business Show in New Orleans from November the 19th to the 22nd, 2024. So recommended that Councillor Fry's request to attend the Athletic Business Show in New Orleans from November the 19th to the 22nd, 2025 be approved. 2024 be approved. And I so move.
It is moved by Councillor Rice, seconded by Councillor Lane. And this is all in accordance with budget as well as policy. So I'll call the question. All in favor? Those opposed? Carried. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. See that.
Number 4 is our request for professional development for travel for Director Cassie Rideout to attend the EDAC conference in Edmonton, September the 30th to October the 3rd, 2024. So it is recommended that Director Cassie Rideout a request to attend the Economic Development Association of Canada conference in Edmonton from September the 30th to October the 3rd, 2024 be approved. And I so move.
Moved by Councillor Rice, seconded again by Councillor Lane. All in favor? Those opposed? Thank you. Carried again.
And that's it, the end of our report. Thank you, Your Worship.
Okay, so moving along to the next committee report, just going back down to the bottom here. Planning, Engineering and Development Committee. Councillor Antle, please.
I'll do the first 2 and then I'll pass it on to the Deputy Mayor. Same thing, all good news. Proposed Mount Pearl Development Regulations on Mount Pearl Municipal Plan Amendments, rezoning of 912 to 928 Black Marsh Road. The committee was advised that the owner of property at Civic number 912 to 928 Black Marsh Road has applied to the city to have part of that property rezoned from commercial mixed use zone to the apartment zone. Rezoning is for the purpose of accommodating an application for approval to develop the subject property as a residential subdivision containing a total of 51 row houses. That's nine quadplex units and 5 triplex units. The rezoning will require an amendment to the municipal plan, redesignation of part of the subject property from a mixed-use designation to residential designation. The recommendation, the Planning, Engineering and Development Committee recommends the city amend the municipal plan and development regulations, that's the Municipal Plan Amendment number 27, 2024, and Develop Regulations Amendment number 75, 2024, and authorize the Planning, Engineering, and Development Department to formally request a review for the purpose of amendments against provincial interests and policies from the Department of Municipal Affairs and to grant and release of the proposed amendments for further review. And I so move.
It is moved by Councillor Antle, seconded, thank you, by the Deputy Mayor. So I think what's happening here is normally we would approve a development regulation change in terms of zoning, and then likely it would have to go to a public hearing. And I think the plan here is to, given the nature of the amendment, is to go directly to municipal affairs and just request a review and grant release. So that's a little bit of an expeditious process, but I think the process has been very fulsome. It's included public engagement, notification. We've had some feedback, so it's been good to hear from people, and staff have put a lot of work into it. So I think this approach is favored at this time, and that's why it's before you today. So once we get the approval from Municipal Affairs, I think we can go ahead with any potential, assuming that you all vote in favor of this now in a few minutes, we'll be able to go ahead with the amendment. Is there any comments? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor? Opposed? Thank you. Carried.
Yes, that's going to be a great development there on Black Marsh Road. Number 2 is proposed Mount Pearl Development Regulations Amendments number 76, 2024, and number 28, 2024 of 709 Topsail Road and 4 Duns Road. The committee was advised that a public briefing session was scheduled for 7 p.m. on Wednesday, July 24th, 2024, at Mount Pearl City Hall to receive feedback on the proposed amendments to the City of Mount Pearl Development Regulations and the City of Mount Pearl Municipal Plan. The amendments, if enacted, would affect a Mount Pearl Development Regulations Amendment number 76, 2024, rezoning land located at 709 Topsail Road and 4 Duns Road from commercial highway use and residential medium density use to commercial mixed use zone. And also Mount Pearl Development Regulations Amendment number 28, 2024, redesignate land located at 4 Duns Road from residential designation to highway commercial designation. The purpose of these amendments is to provide council with the authority to consider an application for the approval to expand the existing commercial garage at 709 Topsail Road to include 4 Duns Road to provide additional areas of operational parking and display purposes. The further commercial development of the subject property. The recommendation, the Planning, Engineering, and Development Committee recommends the city amend the municipal plan and development regulations, Municipal Plan Amendment number 28, 2024, and Development Regulations Amendment number 76, 2024, and authorize the Planning, Engineering, and Development Department to formally request a review of the proposed amendments against provincial interests and policies from the Department of Municipal Affairs and to grant release of proposed amendments from further review. And I so move.
Planning Engineering Department reports are usually the longest, aren't they? Well done, Councillor Antle, and seconded, of course, by, thank you, Deputy Mayor. This is not as much about rezoning a neighborhood. This is more about allowing for continuation of an existing use, which is commercial. So it's going to be in zone from commercial to commercial, right? Highway commercial versus general commercial. So that's what's happening here because you really have one property owner. Any comments, council? Any questions? Hearing none. All in favor? Opposed?
And I will pass it over to our Deputy Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Antle, and thank you, Your Worship. I have 2 more items for our committee to present today. We have number 3 is the building occupancy permit listing for July 29th, right up to August 9th, 2024. So the Planning, Engineering, Development Committee recommends that the residential and commercial building permits issued for this period, showcasing a total construction value of $594,100 be approved, and further that the occupancy permit list as accepted and as presented. So just to refer right now our colleagues to the building permits and occupancy permit list that's in the kit. So that will, if there's any questions related to any of those items, but again, it's looking like with the good weather and the end of the season, we've got a lot more work and development happening at different properties throughout the city, which is good to see. More good news.
Thank you. Moved by the Deputy Mayor, seconded by Councillor Antle. It's been a good year, folks. We're up to 22.5. You can't say that every year. So congratulations to all of the developers and business owners and residents for, upgrading their properties, adding new properties, and to staff for helping to process along. Any questions? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor? Contrary-minded? Carried. Back to you.
Thank you, Your Worship. And that leads us to our final item for the PEG Committee tonight, which is capital project updates. And again, we've been busy across the city. This is certainly when we look at right now, the 2024 asphalt and concrete services is 44% complete, and work continues at various locations throughout the city with different capital projects. Right now, Spruce Avenue is at a 96% completion with a deficiency work outstanding. Birch Avenue is at 98% complete with some deficiency work outstandings as well. And we have Birch Avenue easement that's at 99% complete with deficiency work outstanding. Roosevelt Avenue has a 99% completion rate with a deficiency work of outstanding. We also have Carroll Drive at 71% complete. So that includes concrete work and subgrade work that needs to be ongoing, and asphalt work and base course scheduled for mid-September is where we're looking at for that. And it's identified water services line leaks are being repaired as well. Billard Avenue at 99% completion rate, a deficiency in closeout documentation to be provided by the committee. And Farrell Drive right now is at 90% complete with deficiency work outstanding. And finally, Olympic Drive is at 98% completion rate with deficiency work outstanding. So we're really at the end of many of the capital work projects that we have seen being worked on throughout the summer, and a lot of kind of final finishes to these projects. And so, yeah, this is where we are right now. Some good projects and capital projects being complete, and we're at very close to the end of many of these ongoing projects. And that would take us to that is the final item for our agenda. And I pass it back to you, Your Worship. Thank you very much.
Oh, great job. Thanks, everybody. A lot of work getting done. I want to make a comment about Farrell Drive. You too. You go first if you want. No, I was going to say on Farrell, it's 90% complete, but the top coat, the second coat has to be put on. So right now, many of the service entrances are raised. They have pylons up there. There is a cutout, if you know what I mean. You transition from the an area of asphalt that's got the single coat they put on last year versus the double coat on the existing road. So I asked drivers to be careful, be patient. The update I'm hearing from planning and engineering is that they are working through deficiencies. The intention, I think, Director, is to have those that street paved roughly around the mid to late September. So Farrell Drive should be completed roughly by the end of September, and I hope the weather cooperates. Councillor Fry, thank you for listening to me.
Oh, I just have a question. I don't see it here. It's Nash Crescent. It's just off Farrell Drive, because the driveways up there are, when they were redone, the edge of the driveways are the slants are very high. And I know that we were looking into that. I'm just wondering what the status of that is.
I can take that away and come back. I don't have an answer off the top of my head, but I'll look into it and I'll get back to you tomorrow. Thank you.
All right, everybody good to move on? The finale is coming from Councillor Fry. It is the Recreation and Community Safety Report.
Thank you, Your Worship. Well, summer day camp has come to it's come to a conclusion on Friday, August the 23rd. So parents and guardians are asked to remind their children to be watchful now when walking near streets. And this should hold true for all summer, but especially now towards the end of the summer, they should remain on sidewalks and look both ways. Drivers and pedestrians should be as vigilant as ever, as children may be out and around visiting parks and playgrounds, and this is the end of their summer break. So they're going to be out and about, and excitement is high. And just be on the lookout so that kids can enjoy the remainder of their summer months in a very safe and happy time.
I'm looking over at Councillor Locke to see if he's taken the second item, and I totally missed you, Councillor Randall. All yours.
Welcome to my life.
That was really heavy.
Just a quick question. How about How about our park patrol? Is that finished up the end of this month? Or do we continue on?
They finished the end of the long weekend, so this weekend.
Thank you, Councillor Fry. Councillor Locke, are you taking number 2 in this list? Let's move along swimmingly, please.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll finish it up. While our day camp concluded, our canoe kayak program is extended to September 1st, 2024, which is great. It'll run daily from 2 to 7 p.m. and of course from August 24th, Saturday, right up till Sunday, September 1st. And any details, if you want further, you can certainly visit the city's website. And that's it for our committee, Your Worship. I thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll finish today's meeting with a roundtable, starting with Councillor Fry.
You know, we're talking about the end of summer, and that brings an awful lot because you look at all the sports that took place over the summer months. I mean, we attended the Super Soccer Saturday on Saturday. How many kids went through that program? I mean, what a great program it is at 1,700, and I mean, that takes a lot of investment on behalf of the association, the parents, the coaches, the volunteers, and not just soccer. You know, there's the baseball and basketball and so many other sporting organizations. Campia Gymnastics, they had their open house this week. And I mean, the amount of dedication from coaches and volunteers and organizers, you could never put a dollar amount on that. So that's all I wanted to say here tonight. I just wanted to acknowledge them and to draw attention to them and send them the biggest thank you for all that they do for our kids, because recreation, especially during the summer months, to keep them active is always important. So thank you to everybody. And also, the Campia Gymnastics had their open house this past weekend. And what a facility they have. I mean, to see them tumbling and jumping and on the bars and everything. It's my impression of gymnastics was always what you see on TV during the Olympics, which was way out of reach. But my heavens, what a great program they have there. I was so pleased to be there. And the coaches were so passionate. They were young, and I just had a wonderful chat with them. And they were so passionate about what they were doing, and you could feel the pride that they had from taking kids from a babies and young age and watching them progress through their gymnastics. So I'm just going to give a shout out to Alex and Gwen, Kayla, Luna, Gleb, and Gracie, because they're fantastic. And that's it for me, Your Worship. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councillor Locke, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a few items here. The first is our summer concert series. Will conclude this Friday, August 30th. That's the series outside Centennial Park, just outside City Hall here. So from 12 to 12:30, we will have Caleb Kindon playing, and that'll be followed up by Vuela Directo from 12:30 to 1:30, again at Centennial Park outside City Hall. Secondly, the Glacier Arena Fall 2024 public skating. I mean, talking about skating already, but it is upon us. The dates for these will be posted on our website in coming days, and then highlighting the times of the adult senior noon skate, the parent tot skate, and the general skates. Also, the registration dates, very popular activity. Registration dates for the Saturday play group at the Reed Center have been set. Mount Pearl residents registration will be online only, and our residents can register on September 3rd, and then registration for non-residents or guests who are city, they can register online on September the 5th. The program is for toddlers aged 2 to 5. That'll help our children learn fundamental movement skills and build their confidence and competence in running, jumping, bouncing, kicking, throwing, all the stuff that Councillor Fry was just talking about at gymnastics. It's a parent and tot play group with staff instructing a variety of games. The cost is $5 per child, and there'll be a maximum of 30 participants per session. Of course, our parents' participation is mandatory, and the playgroup dates for fall 2024. And to reserve your space, visit the city's website through the Book King system. Of course, another popular sport now is the recreational pickleball, and our courts will be available for booking on September 9th. And these courts are at the Reed Community Center, the Gloria Pearson Center, and all details and booking processes are noted once again on our city's website. And a final reminder to our swimming pool patrons, the family swim and lane swim from 5 to 6:30 p.m. on Friday, August 30th. It's canceled this week, and that's due to rescheduling of the swimming lessons as a result of the pool shutdown a couple of weeks back. We apologize for any inconvenience, but we'll get back to regular scheduling after August the 30th. And that's it for me, Mayor. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Over to you, Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Your Worship. I just have two items. I was very lucky to have gone on an adventure, if you will, last week with some of my colleagues here, along with such an incredible group of seniors. We went as far as Placentia. Now, I took my car, but there was two wonderful buses that were arranged to go see one of the many theater productions that were happening in one of our friendly friendly neighbors in Placentia, which is throughout the entire year, throughout the entire season of summer, they have them. And we got to see one of those productions. And I just wanted to thank and give great props to the Seniors Independence Group, where many organizations that are run through volunteers, a lot of effort and collaborations with different cities and support from our city and incredible amount of staff, where during the summer it's a quiet time, where they're still moving with different activities and events and allowing people to be just as active and fun as ever. And I just wanted to thank the organization and the people I sat next to. There was no better group of caring and kind people than members of the Seniors Independence Group, I tell you. The second thing too is I just wanted to bring a little attention, if probably some of my colleagues have already will connect with it as well. It's the Safe Pups Animal Pageant that is being hosted by the city on September 8th from 1 to 4. And it's an incredible incredible event, and just why I think it's incredible and I hope to attend is that it really offers a lens of health and wellness to our animals. We are an animal city. I remember going door to door, and there hadn't been a door where there wasn't a dog or a cat or some furry friend to greet me. So the more we get to understand things like animal protections, rights, how we can better treat our animals, and partner and have organizations like the SPCA, Beagle Paws, and Paws to Love to be part of this sort of event, the better. And I mean, I'm there. I'm just going to be there for the looks. What looks the dogs will be serving in the pageant. I can't wait to see what types of foolish and gorgeous and adorable things that some of these animals are going to be sporting, I'm sure. I have cats and they're not that friendly around outside. They're incredibly friendly. They're too friendly, but I'm afraid they might wander. So for the safe and healthy of my cats, I'm keeping them at home. But I can't wait to see other animals that will be around for the event. So that's all I have, Your Worship. And yeah, I hand it off to my next colleague for their remarks.
Thank you. And that would be Councillor Antle.
Thank you, Your Worship. And we must be live because I got a question from a resident that was really quick. All right. Are they bringing back the ever popular Friday afternoon skate at the glacier?
The schedule, I believe, is done for the Friday afternoon. I will have to double check on.
I was popular with my residents anyhow, so, and I hope they're watching. I got a couple of things to bring up, and the first one was Canada Games. Myself and Councillor Rice are on the functional committee at the Canada Games. We're on 2 different committees. I'm on transportation, he's not. All right. So he's on fit up, but it's Canada Games. It's really important that I think we're all involved in the Canada Games. But if anybody's interested in filling out, or volunteering for the Canada Games, it's really important now to get your volunteer form in, because they have to do background checks. And for 6,000 people, if you don't get it in now, there's going to be a backlog if you wait until, January or February. So the sooner you can get in, they told us, get your application in so you can do these background checks. Everybody has to do a background check, and it makes it nice and easy. And we need 6,000 volunteers. It's going to be a fabulous, fabulous time. Just leading off with Deputy Mayor, she's talking about the pets. And anybody knows in the past little while, there's so many cats roaming our city. Dogs are usually kept under leash and they're kept inside and this kind of stuff. But all of a sudden, we see a lot of cats. Cats aren't allowed to roam. So we have to pay attention that, if you let your cat out, don't let your cat, roam the neighborhood. It creates a nuisance. It tears up flowers. The cats tear up flower gardens and tear up vegetable gardens. So if you could pay attention to that, they would really appreciate it. And our hats off to the Public Works team. I was over the other day and looked at the Stonegate Playground. If you get an opportunity to take a look what they did in that small space, it's amazing, Glenn. They did a fabulous, fabulous job. And I'm sure the residents are quite happy. And that's everything from me, Your Worship.
Thank you very much. Over to you, Councillor Rice.
Thank you, Your Worship. Two small items for me. Just for the first one I want to add is we had the pleasure of attending the Mount Pearl Paradise Chamber of Commerce annual golf tournament Thursday past on August 22nd. Myself and Councillor Antle and the Mayor attended. Well, I got to say, I was really impressed with all the new businesses that are coming on with the Mount Pearl and Paradise Chamber of Commerce, and it was a phenomenal event. Great prizes, and the head up at Glendinning. It was a really good event. So hats off to the organisers of the Mount Pearl Paradise Chamber of Commerce for that event. Second one for me is just want to give a shout out. We on the Mount Pearl City site now, we got I was asked to put up First United Church are having an evening with the Irish descendants on September the 14th at 7 p.m. Tickets are going fast. So if you want to get your tickets and not be disappointed, make sure you get you call the city on the First United Church website is the listing, and it's also on the city site as well. So if you want to get your tickets and numbers there to contact at First United Church, and appreciate all the support you can give them. That's it for me, Your Worship. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And over to you, Councillor Lane.
Thank you very much. I just want to send a big congratulations to the Mount Pearl Paradise Skating Club athletes, Carson Wang and James Reese, on taking gold and silver in the Star 7 men category at Skate NL Summer Skate Competition this weekend. So congratulations to them. It's a huge accomplishment. And just another reminder that school is starting very soon. Sorry, kids. But yeah. And teachers, you're right. Just not this teacher because I'm on maternity leave. But very important to keep a mind fly when you're driving, because when that first day back to school, the kids probably be half asleep when they're on their commute walking to school, and they may not be looking out for traffic. So make sure that you're looking out for them. And that's it for me this evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much. No, great meeting, folks. Good summary of all the business of the city as well as fine action report. So I have nothing further to add. You've covered everything off. I'm going to call for a motion to adjourn. Moved by Councillor Locke, seconded by Councillor Antle, and we are adjourned.